Welcome to the TUE Brew Review. This week we're checking out Glutenberg Stout. This is a gluten-free beer. Shout out to my niece Casey, who donated this beer to the TBR cause. She just left it in my beer fridge during a recent visit. So I'm going to make the assumption that she wanted this beer to get reviewed. So this is a beer made with gluten-free grains. Beers such as this have gained a lot of traction in recent years. Brewers are, basically swap out the traditional glutinous grains such as barley and wheat, and they will use other cereal grains in the mash, things like corn and rice and sorghum. And this brewer, they're out of Montreal. They've actually got a solid history of making only gluten-free beers, and they've got a pretty impressive selection. They got, I think, several different styles in their repertoire. So let's go ahead and check this out. This comes in a 16-ounce can. Nice black color, which kind of is a precursor to the color of the beer, what it should be. We've got 5% ABV, millet and corn beer. So I think everybody knows what corn is, but millet is a grass, it's got very small seeds to it. We've got a nutritional label on this beer. Now, normally alcohol is not required to have a nutritional label, but this particular brewer made the effort to give you the nutritional facts. 335 calories. Ingredients include millet, corn, we've got candy syrup, we've got hops, cocoa nibs, coffee, and yeast. So one would assume that not only some of the flavors, but also the color, which is very important in a stout, is going to come from the cocoa nibs and the coffee. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. And I see it's got actually a best before date on here, which is always good to have on the beer. And it looks like we're about 2 months in advance of the best before date. So we're still in good shape there. So look at the pour here. We are getting the nice dark brown color. The head dissipates very quickly. There's just not much in the way of, the glutinous grains have more proteins. You tend to get a better head retention. So as one would assume in a gluten-free beer, you're not going to get much in the way of a head. So definitely getting some of the coffee aroma in there, getting almost like a dark molasses, really sweet, depth of sweetness. Again, molasses comes to mind. Maybe a little bit of licorice, a little hint of smoke in there too. Cheers. So flavors. Getting a mocha character, again, coffee, chocolate. Definitely getting a kind of a sweet, dark fruit, like a dark cherry or fig, like flavor component in there. Very interesting flavor profile. Yeah, a good amount of sweetness, a little bit of licorice in there as well, but definitely getting that coffee chocolate mocha character and quite a bit of sweetness. It's got a very light body to it, kind of dry in the mouthfeel, but very light, almost, I don't want to say watery, but it's just got a very thin finish to it. The stouts is just a tough style, I think, to replicate without using glutinous grains. You need that roasted barley. So I think given what they were trying to target, if you're somebody that really needs a hit of a stout and looking for a gluten-free option, this kind of gets in the neighborhood of it, but it's a little bit too sweet and a little bit too thin in the body and the mouthfeel. But again, a gluten-free option. It's got lots of flavors to it. So nothing is oppressive. Just doesn't really taste that close to a stout. But hey, I admire their efforts. So there you have it. a gluten-free stout from the folks at Glutenberg Brewery. And if nothing else, it reminds me of my favorite actor from all those 80s and 90s comedies. Cheers.